Welcome to World Figure 8 Wednesday. This episode of World Figure 8 Wednesday is for Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. We want to thank each and every one of you that's tuned in to our previous World Figure 8 Wednesday episode. And thank you everyone that's subscribed to the Indianapolis Speedrome YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, shame on you. Click that subscribe button on there and that way you'll get alerted each time we have a new video. There's lots of cool content coming up as we get ready to start the season, and we're going to flood you with videos throughout the summer here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. And speaking of that opening night, I know we're getting excited for that. Saturday night, April 4th, the Outlaw Figure 8 cars are here at the Indianapolis Speedrome for 75 laps in the Wayne Arnold Memorial Figure 8 race. And good news for your fans, it's just $5 spectator admission to opening night, Saturday, April 4th. There's no place on earth you can see Outlaw Figure 8 cars in person for just $5, and that'll happen here at the Indianapolis Speedrome on Saturday night, April 4th. Besides subscribing to the Indianapolis Speedrome YouTube channel, if you see these videos on your social media feed, please share them with all your friends and get out the good word about Figure 8 racing and the Indianapolis Speedrome. It's very important to share the word on the great stuff going on here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. On this episode of World Figure 8 Wednesday, we're going to talk about rookies throughout the history of the 3-hour Figure 8 endurance race. Those drivers making their first attempt at winning the World Figure 8 Championship, and this year it's going to be special. The winner of the World Figure 8 Championship, 50th annual 3-hour Figure 8 endurance race, is going to get paid $50,000 for their victory this September. So stay tuned throughout this episode and learn about the history of first-year drivers in the 3-hour Figure 8 endurance race here on World Figure 8 Wednesday. The 3-hour Figure 8 endurance race dates back to 1977, where inaugural winner Jim Fox picked up the victory in that race. But it wouldn't be 2 years later before we started honoring rookie first-year drivers in the 3-hour Figure 8 endurance race. That rookie award is named in honor of Sonny Eaton. Sonny Eaton's a driver that won a lot of Figure 8 races and championships in the state of Maryland. And ironically, these days, Polk Brothers Auto Care is just off the backstretch of here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. And the Polk brothers lived in Maryland and watched Figure 8 ace Sonny Eaton win those races. And it was a hero of those boys when they were growing up. So it's kind of neat how that's come together here with their business located out back and here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Sonny Eaton came to the Indianapolis Speedrome for the second 3-hour Figure 8 endurance race in 1978. He had a nice run in that event, finishing inside the top 10, but unfortunately health issues after the finish of that race sent him to the hospital, and we lost Sonny Eaton a few days later. So John Stiles came up with the idea of naming the first year award the Rookie of the Race award after Sonny Eaton because of that one appearance he made in 1978. So the Sonny Eaton Memorial Award's been given out each year from 1978 until now. And it's been a very prestigious award and an honored award that drivers try to get each and every year at the World Figure 8 Championship. Rookies make different decisions on when to run for Rookie of the Race. Some drivers go the first time they have a car. Other drivers wait a few more years until they get collected and feel like they got a great chance for a great finish in the race. But over the years, many super named drivers have finished as top rookie in the World Figure 8 Championship and earned the Sonny Eaton Memorial Award. 31 times rookies have finished inside the top 10 in the World Figure 8 Championship, and we'll do a countdown of those drivers that finished in the top 10 as rookies later on in this show. But we talk about all the amazing drivers that are out there that would be eligible if they came here in 2026 for the World Figure 8 Championship. I jotted down a list of drivers who have competed in an outlaw figure 8 race around the country over the last 12 months who would be eligible for Rookie of the Year. And if all these drivers came, it would be a wonderful battle for that first year honor. And I would like to watch a race just among those folks just to see how that would turn out. Here from the Speedrome, guys like Mason Hadley, Christopher Gray, and Jillian Lepedo, Daniel Norman, Johnny Hargraves Jr., all from the Speedrome, are eligible for World Figure 8 Championship Rookie of the Race. A driver from Michigan, Bill Early, who's had some great runs here over the past few years, especially down in the state of Florida, is eligible for the Rookie of the Race award. From the Kentuckiana area, Ricky Hine, who won an oval feature here last year, would be eligible for that award. From the state of Florida, drivers that have competed in the last 12 months that would be eligible would be Shane Grigsby, Justin Hamilton, Noah Souza, Jim McPeak, Justin Meyer, Preston Davis, Cody Stickler, and yes, Robert Yoho, you were eligible for Rookie of the Race the first time you come to the 3-hour figure 8. Drivers from Colorado are Jeremy Wall, Chris Cox, Clint Keenan. They would all be eligible for Rookie of the Race. And then from the state of Washington, there's a lot of drivers that would be eligible, but just off the top of my head, James Corbett, Nick Holton, and all the wonderful racing members of the Wilkinson family would be eligible for Rookie of the Race. That doesn't count out drivers that haven't raced here in the last 12 months that are getting into outlaw figure 8 competition. So could be a wonderful run for Rookie of the Race here in 2026, and each and every year getting the Rookie Award is very prestigious. But wouldn't it be cool to win Rookie of the Race in the 50th annual 3-hour figure 8 endurance race, where that day one driver will be walking away with $50,000 for bringing home first place finish in the 3-hour figure 8 endurance race. So we'll see who shows up this year for the World Figure 8 Championship as a rookie and who competes for that prestigious Sonny Eaton Memorial Award. We're back here with more stats and the history of the 3-hour figure eight endurance race, the grand event that began back in 1977 and continues today with the 50th annual running here in 2026 with a record $50,000 going to the world champion this September. This episode, we're going to talk about the rookies who have finished in the top 10 of the 3-hour figure eight endurance race. A great achievement, not only besting the field, but toughing the event out in the grueling 180 minutes and surviving all the way with an outstanding top 10 finish. The rookie designations began with the third running of the 3-hour figure eight in 1979, and the award was named beginning that year after Sonny Eaton, who passed away after the 1978 event, and the award still continues to be handed out today in honor of that Maryland driver, Sonny Eaton. Let's start with the drivers that had a 10th place finish as a rookie in the World Figure Eight Championship, then known as the National Figure Eight Championship at the beginning. Those drivers are Donnie Garagos Jr. in 1980, who's still among the top 5 or 10 in starts in the event. Anderson Speedway's Joe McKinney finished 10th in 1986. Traveling star that got his start here at the Speedrome, Charles Coles, finished 10th in 1988. Future World Figure Eight champion Ben Tunney, who was still a teenager at the time, finished 10th in 2003. And then it was Chris Curtis, the driver from Washington, who got the 10th place finish in 2021, one of the best ever results for a Washington driver ever in the World Figure Eight Championship. And just last year, Sean Moore drove Gordon Brown's Hound Hauler to 10th place in the 2025 event. Rookies that finished 9th in the race began with a driver that is not known for his figure eight racing, one of the best oval drivers the Speedrome's ever seen. That's Rick Tomasic, who won the inaugural Sonny Eaton Memorial Award in 1979. And then it was a Speedrome regular, Jeff Brown, who come out of the Pro Stock class to finish 9th in 1983. Michigan's Jeremy the Frog Miller finished 9th in 1999, had a nice run of great finishes here in the event. And then it was California's Rod Proctor, who came home with a 9th place result in 2006 and has supported the event many times past that. Next on this list of 9th place finishers is a driver whose son competes now and runs well in the Outlaw Figure Eights. That's Darren Greenwell, the Fly Guy, finished 9th place in 2013. And then it was Michigan's Eugene Warden, who picked up several awards that year on his way to his 9th place run in 2018. And then most recently, Dylan Douthit, the son of the 2001 World Figure Eight champion, come home with a 9th place run in his first ever 3-hour figure eight endurance race in 2024. You may note on these slides that some of these folks have an asterisk next to their name. The asterisk is for drivers who won the actual Sonny Eaton Memorial Award on those seasons. Some years, multiple drivers finished among the top 10 as rookies, so the highest finishing driver of those was awarded the Sonny Eaton Memorial Award. Let's move on to the drivers that have finished 8th as rookies, and that's just 3 drivers. One is Michigan veteran Dave Miller, who you've seen his son there in the earlier countdown, Jeremy. Dave finished 8th place in 1980. Dave also has a top 5 result as a co-driver, a relief driver in the event earlier in the decades, and that was something that happened many times early in those early years under a different format of the 3-hour figure eight championship relief driver, something you don't see any of today. Also finishing 8th in their first World Figure Eight run is one of the best street stock drivers from the Indianapolis Speedrome, now a tough competitor at the Anderson Speedway. That's Jimmy Kirby, who finished 8th in 2007. And then next driver is Chris Harmon, one of the guys that's won possibly more figure eight points championships than anyone, definitely in the Kentuckiana and Indianapolis area. Not sure about around the country, but 10 plus figure eight championships. Chris Harmon finishing 8th in his rookie run for the World Figure Eight in 2008. On to the 7th place drivers that have had that as their finish in their rookie performance in 3 hours. Another long list right here. Gary Haskett, a Speedrome veteran, finished 7th in 1980. And then it was Indianapolis Raceway Park transplant Lonnie Breedlove, who was very new to figure eight racing at the time, who picked up a 7th place result in his rookie run in 1981. Gary Bedell, 1993, picked up a 7th place finish. Gary went on to start on the front row and nearly won the World Figure Eight Championship many seasons later. Then it's California's Barefoot Billy Zeman, who came to the track and impressed all with his personality and his driving in 2002, coming home finishing 7th in that performance. Next up was a veteran of the monster trucks that came to us, Derek Anson, who had an amazing performance in 2011, finishing 7th, and has been with us a few times. Many of you have seen his monster truck, the Heavy Hitter, across the Midwest and putting on great performances for fans all over the area. Then it was another driver that has a family legacy that's been in every single 3-hour figure eight endurance race. That's Donnie Garrigus IV, finishing 7th in 2015, earning Sonny Memorial Rookie honors that season. And then another legacy driver had a great run in 2018, coming home 7th. That's Tommy St. John II. Tommy went on to win the pole that year as well. 6th place has a familiar last name. That's Early, Gary Early, whose family is one of the top families throughout the history of the Michigan, Ohio figure eight racing area. Gary came home to finish 6th in 1981. Gary's also a driver who's led the race, one of the only Michigan guys to ever lead the 3-hour figure eight endurance race. And then it was a hometown driver, John Bradley, coming home in 6th place in 1983. The remaining top rookies on here all finished among the top 5 in their first year performances in the 3-hour figure eight endurance race. The first was another Michigan veteran, Dempsey Apperson, who came home 5th in the 1983 event. Dempsey competed many times in those early days of the 3-hour and was part of a big Michigan invasion that helped solidify the 3-hour figure eight as the greatest figure eight race on the planet. Coming home 4th was future World Figure Eight champion Danny Smith. Danny finished 4th in the 2003 race, edging out Ben Tunney for Rookie of the Year that year and coming home the Sonny Memorial winner. As I mentioned, Danny won the World Championship just another dozen or so years later here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Finishing in 3rd is a guy who is familiar with Victory Lane here in the 3-hour figure eight endurance race, but as a crew chief, Ben Tunney's former crew chief Matt Smith came home with a 3rd place finish in his first attempt at the World Figure Eight Championship in 2018. And actually, Matt ended up leading the race at the 2-hour mark, so a very impressive first-year run for Matt Smith, and he's had several top performances since in the event. Also coming home 3rd is another talented young driver from the Indianapolis Speedrome, who unfortunately we lost too soon, but has had so many great finishes in the race. It all started out with this 3rd place run in 2004 for future pole sitter of the event, Corey Turner, coming home 3rd in the 2004 event. Next, we have a driver that finished 2nd in his first ever attempt in the World Figure Eight Championship, and that's Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon, a many-time champion of the Sportsdrome Speedway, wowed everyone in his first ever appearance here in the World Figure Eight Championship, coming home 2nd that year in 2005. And then our final person on the list is Rocket Rodney Sizemore, who came home the runner-up in 1992. Rodney Sizemore, who would go on to win the Speedrome Track Championship a couple of years later, had yet to win his first ever Speedrome Figure Eight race at this point and nearly came home the winner of the World Championship. What a story that would have been to win the world title in your first ever Speedrome Figure Eight race win. But Rodney Sizemore set the bar that others have followed since of trying to acclaim the World Championship in your rookie run. That has been in the countdown of all the drivers who have finished in the top 10 as a rookie in the 3-hour figure eight endurance race. I hope you enjoyed this run of stats in this edition of World Figure Eight Run Wednesdays. Stay tuned on future episodes for more great stats. Want to remind everyone once again to subscribe to the Indianapolis Speedrome YouTube channel. That way you get to notification when these episodes come out and check them out each and every time. And if you're seeing these episodes on social media, please share them to all your friends and tell them about all the great stuff here at the Speedrome. It won't be long before figure eight racing is live and in color here at the Speedrome in April. So stay tuned to World Figure Eight Wednesday each and every week, and thanks for watching, folks.